like this handle.
That's a nice setup. Look at that.
There are all the different tools that they used to use.
Last weekend was a Catalina race. First time, I think, in that race's history that it was all unlimited canoes. And to me, that's really cool because it shows that people are embracing moving forward with the unlimiteds. We're moving forward with canoe paddling and design, but our responsibility is to teach people about the tradition of the core canoes, the spec boats, where it came from and why we do it. To me, you should be bringing all the kids up here and teaching them this is where we came from. You know, and this is like he has a paddle making class. This is how you make a wood paddle. This is how you work on a wood canoe. This is where what we do came from.
This is a digging tool for digging out. This is for flat areas outside. But it does take some knowledge of how to use it. Towards the end, everything is well. I told you with a modern tool, you got the disc, the sandpaper, all the way.
You got the same, yeah.
My grandfather was a core canoe builder. My dad was a core canoe builder. I spent many of my younger years working on core canoes with them, as I will in my future. But I do believe that we need to move forward with our sport like everything else in the world.
They still have to advance at the same time, but still keep the tradition.
The tradition is core canoes because that's what was used back in the day. That's what the Hawaiians used to fish, to get around, to go from island to island. When people ask me about the traditional thing and the unlimited thing, I ask them, why is a Bradley or a Mirage 400 pounds? Because to get a core canoe under 400 pounds is hard. Because it starts to get weak, right? You start running into like taking away too much wood, so it's fragile.
They're a lot longer now than they used to be too.
They were 38, now you get 45 is your kind of max, right?
So the weight goes up when you add more wood, right?
And then
so it's hard to keep it under 400 pounds.
Well, before it was easier too, and they let you do it, the monos were thin and they let you fiberglass before.
Yeah.
Right, so then you didn't have to take weight out of the middle of the boat to get your lightness, right? You could take it out of the ends, and they were just maybe even a different type of wood and fiberglass to have the structure you needed. And it's pretty neat to be in Molokai and see this canoe, maybe Maika'i's or outriggers, right? And you'll get 3 core canoes and 70 fiberglass, right?
And yes, the core canoe may be a little heavier, but at one time this canoe just made it. It was like under 400 pounds at one time. I had to add weights, the weight was all under the seat. We used to use rail for the canvas. But one day I think I was the one that introduced this.
No, it was
no.
Outrigger.
From Outrigger.
Corral did it. No.
What is that?
Yes.
Yeah, the guy who
Domi.
Domi.
Yeah, he's
he started
craftsman.
this thing with where the canvas slides. You gotta put another piece of wood down here and you slide your canvas through.
Yeah, because they used to screw on aluminum rails before to keep
the
the canvas on.
Aluminum rail, like, you know.
So up here we have the unlimited.
Yeah, there
right?
you go.
Which is sort
That's
of
the future.
I think the unlimited thing is really fun because I grew up watching my dad cut canoes, koa canoes, in half, in pieces, in thirds, change the rocker, change the front, change the back, make it a longer canoe, different water line, and a lot of times he would go too far with how tight the bow was or something. And we could look at it at the house, and I remember I would say, it's not gonna pass because the specifications are every a couple inches on the bow and the tail and waterline length, etc. They put all the weight in it, you float it, and it doesn't pass, right? So then he comes home and he has to widen it to meet the specs. I got to see, okay, this is fast, and this is spec, and I was like, so it starts computing a little bit. Oh, then the unlimiteds come along, or the one-mans, and you don't have limitation on design. So all the things you learned, mistakes that you made in the past, you can kind of put towards the future. I sometimes work on the one-mans or the six-man design stuff up here, and he's always comes out and looks, is it a peak? I ask him for help, To me, it sparked interest in six-man again for some people.
Yeah.
And if that sparks interest there, it's going to spark interest in the heritage part of it, right? You go to a regatta and you'll see 30-something koa canoes on the beach.
Oh, they're beautiful.
All a different shade, just gorgeous, you know. It's really neat. You can't hold back moving forward
No.
because you're afraid of losing tradition. But you can't move forward without having tradition. People should get in the crafts that are easier, faster, lighter, safer. I believe we should always be moving forward with our technology, because way back in the past, if someone from our ancestors had come down and had a faster craft and a safer craft to get to where they were going, to another island, to fishing, whatever it is, they would use it.
Maybe like this is the future, yeah. You know, there's no ifs, no buts, you know. But you cannot give up the past either. She was one time, and all she did was, no, wasn't it?
That was
anyway,
you.
she kept going in circles.
I went in circles. That was on a kayak that you made.
That was, the 2 pound.
And he was able to just go a little ways and flip over every time. So he was in the water more than he was on top.
They didn't have the
And I
balance.
just stayed in a circle.
This is because I used to build surf skis in K1s, right? So they would.